Almira with Century 21, and I'm out here at the Lomita Farmers Market. And one of the amazing things I get to do is meet amazing people in the community and businesses that are doing wonderful things. So here today I'm with Dr. Adam with Adam Chiropractic. Thank you for being with me.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about how you got into chiropractic care.
So I got into chiropractic care. I was 15 years old. I was at home, and being a 15-year-old at home 30 years ago, you didn't have cell phones. So the phone started ringing, and I went running out of the living room, jumped over the baby gate, and smashed my head into the door jamb. Landed on the other side of the baby gate. Did make it to the phone, but at that point I couldn't look to the right. So I couldn't turn my head past here. I could look this way fine, and immediately I went to my mom and said, look, it hurts really, really bad. I can't turn to the right. And so my mom grabbed me and said, all right, get in the car, I'm going to take you to the doctor. And so I had grown up always going to Kaiser. Kaiser was pretty close. I lived in Fontana, which wasn't a very big city at that time, and everybody went to Kaiser.
Yeah.
And my mom pulled into this little place that said Cadman Chiropractic. And it looked like a tiny little house. And we went in, and of course my mom filled out all my paperwork. I was 15 years old. And the doctor took me back. He took x-rays on my neck, did an exam, took me into the room, and he explained everything to me, how he was going to adjust my neck, and how, don't worry, it may hurt for a little while, but over the course of the next few treatments you should feel great. And he adjusted me, and then he said, okay, so look to the right, see how far you can look. And after the adjustment, I looked to the right, there was no pain at all. And I was so shocked, I couldn't believe it. I left there, and when I got into the car, I told my mom, I said, this is amazing. And she's like, well, how do you feel? And I go, I feel great. And I go, you know what, no medication. We don't need any medication. I played a lot. I played sports all the time. I played basketball, and I ran track, and cross country as well. So I told my mom, I go, when I grow up, I'm going to be a chiropractor. And it was, that event for me was just life-changing.
Love it.
And then 30 years later, here I am. I've been a chiropractor for 12 years. It was just a chance of a lifetime, I guess. The doc that owned the office before me was hiring, but he was hiring because he wanted to retire. And so I went in to meet him. We sat down, and he looked at me and he goes, well, I'm looking to retire. What do you think about owning a business? And I looked at him and I said, scares the hell out of me. And I go, but it would be great to do.
Yeah.
And he goes, perfect, then you're the guy that, should do this.
Goodness.
And I said, oh, okay. And he goes, I'm looking to, retire in the next 3 to 5 years. And he goes, but I'm getting ready to go he's getting ready to go on vacation. He goes, I'll be back about a week and a half, and then we'll sit down again and we'll talk about all this. And so I said, yeah, perfect. And so he got back, and we had a second interview. And during the second interview, he said, so, like I told you, I'm planning to retire, and it's going to be about 2 to 3 years. 2 to 3 or 3 to 5?
Yeah.
Make sure we have.
Shorter.
Let's make sure we're, completely on the same page. He goes, but before, we go any farther, I'd like you to meet my wife, who was at that time, the office manager as well. And so we go to lunch the following day, and right down the street, and we walk in, and of course, Doc knows everybody, and he's been 34 years here. And so we get a table and we sit down, and his wife is, we get our food, and I grab my fork, and I go to take a bite of something, and his wife goes, so, you're fine with, taking over the practice in 6 months? Dropped the fork, and I went, no, absolutely not. I go, no, there's no way 6 months. I go, I got to learn who the patients are. I got to learn how your office runs. I go, 6 months is just not possible. And she seemed confused, and I was probably less confused than I was, because I went from 5 years to now 6 months.
Oh my goodness.
And so she looks at her husband, and she goes, well, how long? And he goes, I'm going to need at least 18 months. And I'm looking back at him like, what, you going to 18 now? Like, this is crazy. So
your staff is so warm and encouraging.
Thank
and
you.
And really, you guys create this really family warmth. And, you know, for a parent, I think, you know, that's just, you love that. You walk in.
Well, the focus, right? Yeah. I think one of the big things for me is focusing on what's important with what we're doing. I think so many people chase certain things that they kind of lose focus of what they're really doing. For me, it's, you know, make enough money to keep my office open, to take care of what I need to take care of at home, and in the end, make people healthy. You know, I think, you know, if you do what you're supposed to do in life and you feel good about it, it's not really about what you earned at the end of the day. It's what you fulfilled, your promises to yourself as you get older. I think one of the other things we need to do is, you know, really start working with other professionals in the community that, you know, work with patient care. You know, from somebody who does, you know, yoga to Pilates to you know, working with the elderly or working with, you know, with kids, orthos.
Yeah, and I love that. That's what this farmers market is doing, and bringing businesses together and being resources for one another in the community. And that's amazing. And I love that you guys are part of that.
Oh yeah, this has been awesome. It really has been.
And then tell me, I know you have a passion for youth, just because of your own experience as a high school athlete. Like, tell us a little bit about that.
It's funny, I've had this conversation with Bonnie, and we were talking one day, and I said, if I won the lottery, I would just open up my office, and I wouldn't charge. I would just, you know, and I would treat all kids. Just, there wouldn't be a fee service for it at all. I would treat all kids for free. I think, especially those in communities that are underserved. For me, I've worked with professional athletes in the past, but being able to work with kids and, you know, and like we were talking earlier, the emotional part. Kids deal with so many things that we don't know. And when you get a chance to talk to them and they open up to you, especially the kids that are like between 15 and 17, there's a lot of stress that comes along with that I think most people don't understand. When you're a kid, you don't have a job, you don't have bills, you don't have, but it's like, yeah, but the emotional stresses that come with that. So being able to reach a kid on that level, especially as an athlete. Recently, I was talking with a kid, you know, and he was talking about being very nervous, and he's a great athlete, you know, but so concerned because, you know, the recruiting process and, you know, athletes dealing with colleges and coaches and where am I going to go, and I mean, this happens to a lot of athletes. Kind of stress related to, you know, to sports, to money, to whatever they're going through in their lives. It's just, I mean, you have so much more to deal with. Those things shouldn't even exist for kids. And so through chiropractic, being able to, you know, work with these kids and the one-on-one time is just, it's unbelievable. I work with a lot of kids. Sometimes when I get the opportunity, if I have a particular issue that I'm dealing with a patient and I can't, you know, necessarily get it to go away, or it doesn't make sense, it only improves when he's not playing or something like that, I'll go and watch them. You know, I'll go to their games or something like that, and usually take a video camera or whatever, and just look at some of the mechanics of what's going on. That's helped me with quite a few patients.
You're in Lomita for a while now. Tell me what you love about this community.
You know, I think the community is actually really helpful. It comes together very well. It tries to help each other as much as possible. It's interesting. I've been shocked at how many people know me. Also, you know, just going from business to business. During this whole thing, we've tried to order food from as many different businesses as we can, and try to stay in touch with as many businesses as we can. That's important.
In the season of COVID, and, you know, we're still coming out, masks and all, we're still making it happen. So thank you so much.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
All you're doing, and if you can, come visit Dr. Adam and his team, and get taken care of.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure meeting you.